Stop what you are doing and run your tongue along the back of your bottom front teeth right now. Really feel it. Do you feel smooth, glass-like enamel? Or do you feel a rough sandpaper-like ridge? Maybe it feels like a gritty stone wall building up in the gaps between the gums. If you feel that grit, I need you to listen to me very carefully. You aren't just failing at brushing, and this isn't just bad genetics. You are looking at a fossilized record of nightly suffocation. That hard, calcified shelf, what dentists call calculus, is not just a hygiene issue that you scrape away every 6 months. It is a loud, screaming metabolic alarm bell. It signals that for the last 8 hours your body was not resting. It was surviving. You were enduring a state of severe dehydration and chronic fight-or-flight stress. See, we treat this tartar like a simple dental annoyance. But the medical reality is much darker. The science shows this is actually a breathing problem masquerading as a hygiene problem. And the consequences go far beyond your gums. This nightly stress spikes your cortisol and adrenaline, destroying your insulin sensitivity. Instead of repairing your cells and burning energy, your body thinks it is under attack, turning you into a fat-storing machine while you sleep. If you constantly hit that heavy, foggy crash around 2 p.m., that slump where your brain shuts off and you feel like you need a sugar hit or a second coffee just to function, that is not a caffeine deficiency. That is the metabolic bill coming due for a night spent fighting for air through a dry, open mouth. Today, we are going to decode exactly why this happens, the chemistry behind it, and the simple protocol to fix it. To understand why this stone wall forms, we have to decode a specific biological mechanism called a supersaturation event. Under normal conditions, your saliva is a miracle fluid. It's like a fast-moving, crystal-clear mountain stream. It is flowing with high concentrations of calcium and phosphate, the very minerals that build your teeth. But because the water is moving so fast, the silt, or the minerals, cannot settle on the rocks. It stays in solution. But when you open your mouth to breathe at night, you effectively build a dam and let the hot sun beat down on that water. You create a wind tunnel effect over the submandibular ducts, those little spit glands right under your tongue. This rapid airflow creates a pressure differential that strips away the water through evaporation and, crucially, forces carbon dioxide to gas off instantly. This is where the chemistry gets fascinating. When you lose that carbon dioxide, the pH of your saliva changes immediately. It spikes, becoming highly alkaline. Suddenly, that liquid solution is supersaturated. It can no longer hold on to the heavy minerals. They crash out of the liquid and crystallize into solid rock. This doesn't take weeks. It begins to happen within hours of your mouth falling open. Visualize that mountain stream again. Imagine the dam stopping the flow. As the hot sun beats down, the water level drops rapidly. The liquid turns into a thick, murky sludge. As the water vanishes completely, those dissolved minerals are forced to harden, coating the dry riverbed in a crusty, white, jagged layer of salt and stone. That is exactly what is happening behind your teeth. You are creating a dry riverbed in your own mouth every single night. This is why tartar-controlled toothpastes are mostly a scam. They use harsh chemicals and abrasives to try and scrub the dry rocks, but they do nothing to turn the river back on. You cannot scrub away a problem that is being caused by physics and evaporation. You have to stop the evaporation. So, how do we turn the river back on? We follow one guiding principle that dictates human physiology: respect the seal. Your nose is a complex filtration system explicitly designed for breathing. Your mouth is a digestive organ designed for eating. Never confuse the two functions during sleep. When you breathe through your nose, you aren't just filtering air, you are producing nitric oxide, a potent vasodilator gas that improves oxygen uptake in your blood by 18%. Here is your comprehensive, 3-step blueprint to restore that function. Step 1 is the unblock. I hear this objection constantly. I can't tape my mouth, my nose is always stuffed. You are absolutely right. You cannot tape a blocked nose. That's a recipe for panic. You need mechanical dilation first. If you have chronic congestion, use a simple saline rinse to clear the debris. But for many, the issue is a collapsing valve. I recommend getting a nasal dilator. These are little magnetic strips for the outside of the nose, or internal stents like the mute rhinomed, that go inside to physically push your nostrils open. You have to mechanically widen that valve to reduce the resistance, making nasal breathing the path of least resistance. Step 2 is the seal. Once the airway is open, we need to train the jaw muscles. Get yourself a roll of 1-inch micropore surgical tape. You can find this at any pharmacy for about $3. The goal here isn't to seal your lips shut like a hostage situation. That's dangerous and unnecessary. You just want to place one small vertical strip right in the center of your lips. This acts like training wheels for your jaw. It provides a subtle sensory signal to your brain to keep the mouth closed, preventing that wind tunnel evaporation that drives tartar formation. If you cough or need to vomit, your mouth can easily pop it open, so it is perfectly safe. Step 3 is the buffer. If you are starting with a deficit, meaning you are already prone to extreme dryness, you need a backup system. Use a xylitol melt before bed. You stick this little adhering disc on your gums, and it slowly releases a sugar-alcohol fluid while you sleep. The genius of xylitol is that bacteria cannot eat it, so it doesn't feed the plaque. Instead, it stimulates a steady trickle of moisture, keeping that saliva river flowing and buffering the acid all night long, even if your seal breaks for a moment. Let's clear up a major myth that trips almost everyone up. You might be thinking, well, if my mouth is dry, I'll just drink a massive glass of water right before bed to stay hydrated. Please, do not do this. That water isn't going to save your saliva or stop the tartar. In fact, it's going to backfire. Drinking heavy loads of water right before sleep triggers nocturia, the biological need to wake up and urinate in the middle of the night. Every time you wake up to use the bathroom, you fragment your sleep cycles. You pull yourself out of deep, restorative delta waves. This spikes your cortisol, your stress hormone, which puts your body back into that sympathetic fight or flight mode. This defeats the whole point of trying to heal. You need to front-load your hydration during the day. Drink your water between 8 a.m. and 6 p.m. At night, rely on the oral seal to preserve the moisture you already have, not on adding more water to the tank. Now, a crucial medical warning. This is vital. If you put that tape on your lips and you feel immediate panic, anxiety, or air hunger like you are suffocating, take it off instantly. That is not a failure of will, that is a diagnostic sign. It likely means you have a severe structural blockage, like a deviated septum, nasal polyps, or untreated obstructive sleep apnea. If your body panics when the mouth is closed, it means your nose physically cannot support you. In that case, do not force the tape. You need to see an ENT specialist or a sleep doctor immediately. Also, take a hard look at your medicine cabinet. If you are taking antihistamines for allergies or antidepressants, look at the side effects. Many of these drugs cause xerostomia, chemically induced dry mouth. They turn off the saliva pumps at a neurological level. If you are on these, the tape will help, but the xylitol buffer becomes non-negotiable because your own chemistry is fighting against you. Here is the bottom line. That stone wall behind your teeth is not a life sentence, and it is not just a card you were dealt by bad genetics. It is a direct communication from your body. It is a biological distress signal telling you that the river has run dry and your system is under siege. But the beautiful thing about physiology is that it is adaptive. You have the power to turn the water back on. You can become the architect of your own biology. You don't have to accept waking up with a dry, scratchy throat, brain fog, and dental decay as just part of getting older. You can change the physics of your mouth tonight. Here is your challenge. I don't want you to just take my word for it. I want you to feel the difference. Tonight, set a breathing alarm for 30 minutes before you actually go to sleep. For those 30 minutes, while you are brushing your teeth, putting on pajamas, and winding down, keep your mouth consciously shut. Breathe only through your nose. Notice what happens. Notice if your heart rate drops. Notice if that racing mind anxiety starts to quiet down. Prove to yourself how much calmer your nervous system feels before you even try the tape. If this video helped you decode the signals your body is sending you, hit the like button so we can spread this message. And I want to hear from you in the comments right now. Do you have that calcified stone wall behind your bottom teeth? Or do you just wake up with that scratchy desert throat every morning? Let's compare notes below and figure this out together. I'll see you in the comments.